Hi guys, so I was asked to do a review on the Kiss Lightning Speed Salon Dip Powder Manicure Kit. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up so I can show you what's in it real quick. Now I picked up this kit at Walgreens. I'm sure you can find it at other places that sells Kiss items. So the first thing in there is a buffing block. You have your instructions, a file with 2 different grits on it, an orange wood stick. You also get your acrylic dip powder, your brush-on gel, your gel activator, and that comes with a nozzle so you can spray it. And then you also get 2 types of nail tips, white and natural. So I think for this tutorial I'm going to go ahead and use the white tips. So I'm going to read the directions and then I'll meet you guys right back. Alright guys, so the first thing you want to do is you want to get your nail tips that you're going to use, and you want to make sure that you put them on your fingers and measure them from side to side so that they fit the nail properly. You're going to also want to make sure that you prepare the nail correctly by removing any dead skin and any oils. I'll have a video in the description how to do a prep step by step. So according to the directions, you want to start by applying your tips once you've prepared your nails, and they recommend to go ahead and use the brush-on gel, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So you want to put it right here in the little clear part of the well of the nail, and you don't want to put a ton. Then you're going to flip that over. You want to start at kind of an angle and then press down, and then you want to hold that for a minute just so that that attaches completely. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that to all my nails, and then I'll meet you guys right back. So once you have your tips glued down, next you want to make sure you go in and trim them back to your desired length. If you don't have nail trimmers like I have here, you can always use just regular fingernail clippers. Okay, and then you also want to go in with your file, and if you have any overhang on the side, you want to make sure that you file that to make it even with your nail. And then they also recommend going in and filing the ridge from your natural nail to the plastic part, and you just want to make sure that you do that really softly, and you just want to blend that ridge and try not to file your natural nail. You want to go, and at the same time you want to go ahead and shape your nail, whether you're doing square or squoval or whatever shape you're doing. You can go ahead and take the time to do that now. And then what I like to do once I have that done is I just take some rubbing alcohol, spray the nail, and use a lint-free wipe just to remove any dust that might be on there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all of my nails, and then I'll meet you guys right back. Okay, so once you have your nails prepared, what you're going to do is you want to open up your acrylic dip. So they say to go ahead and stir the acrylic powder. And then you're going to do a coat of the gel, and it says to do an even coat, and then once you've done that coat, you're going to dip it into the powder. So I'm going to start at the base and pull that all the way forward, making sure to cover the whole thing. Then I'm going to go ahead and dip. And pull it out. Now they say to go ahead and tap the nail to remove any excess. I'm going to go ahead and use a fan brush to knock off any excess. And then the next thing that it says to do is to go ahead and take your brush on gel again and apply a second coat. Making sure to saturate all of that powder. You're going to go ahead and dip that again. And again, I'm going to use the fan brush to remove the excess powder. If If you get any on your cuticle, you can go ahead and use the orange wood stick to pull that out. And then you're going to take your brush on gel again and top that off. Now I'm going to go ahead and move my powder. The final step is to take your gel activator and go ahead and spray the nail. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all the nails, and then okay guys, so I just wanted to touch on a couple things before we move on. One is when you're brushing on your gel, when you've placed the powder already and you're about to place the gel, you want to make sure that you clean that brush off on a piece of paper towel before you put it back into the actual gel, and that's just so that you're not transferring powder into the gel. Second thing is you want to make sure that you're completely saturating the powder when you're going from the powder to the next step when you're applying the gel, because hopefully you can see that okay. If you don't, you get this kind of white cast and bubbles in the nail, and that's just from not wiping off enough of the powder and not being able to saturate it completely. So that's the other thing. You want to make sure that you use, you know, like a fan brush or something to really dust off that powder before you move on to the gel, so that it can completely saturate, so you can avoid the bubbles and this kind of white cast. And the last thing I wanted to mention, when you spray the actual gel activator, if the glue is still wet on the top, it becomes really texturized, and I don't know if it's coming through on camera or not, but see how texturized that one is compared to this one? So with this one, the gel was completely dry when I sprayed it, and so it finished, you know, kind of smooth or smoother. It's still a little bit bumpy, but this one, if you look at it, it's completely different texture. It's really bumpy and very gritty. So those are just my quick tips. So the next step, once you've completely done your nails, what you want to do is you want to go in with a file, and you just want to do a quick shape up of your nails. So, you know, if you need to shape the sides, you can go ahead and do that, the tip if you need to, and then you're going to go in with your buffer, and you're just going to buff the nail smooth. So like I said, it's a little bit gritty, so I'm just going to go in with the one that they provide in the kit, and I'm just going to buff that nail until it's smooth to the touch. So I'm going to do that to all the nails, and then I'll meet you guys right back. So I went ahead and washed my hands. For the last step, I'm going to go ahead and just add top coat. I'm using a UV top coat. Of course, you can use just a regular polished top coat. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that to all the nails and then cure it, and I'll meet you back to show you the final result. Alright guys, so I wanted to go ahead and wrap up this review. Overall, I think this is a very clever little kit. It worked very well. Here's my final results with the top coat, and I must say I do like it a lot better once I put the top coat on and buffed it out. You know, before I buffed it, it was looking a little rough and I was kind of worried. You know, the only things that I don't like about it is, one, you can't build up the apex of the nail, so it's not going to be as strong as a traditional set of acrylics. So you just need to keep that in mind, and I would just recommend keeping the nails themselves short so that you don't break them while you're wearing them. The other thing is, you know, the little white spots and bubbles. I couldn't get rid of that completely. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but there's little bitty bubbles in there. But I think next time, knowing that I need to saturate it completely, you know, I can eliminate the white spots at least. As for the bubbles, they're very minimal. I don't think anybody looking at my hands would, you know, see them right away the way that I see them. I do. So overall, I would say, yeah, this is a really good little kit. Now, I paid $17 for this at Walgreens. I'm not sure if you can find it cheaper someplace else. So that does it for this review. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and leave them down below. If you guys have any other items that you'd like me to review that I can get my hands on, let me know. And as always, thank you guys for watching.